Hi, welcome. My name's Dominic, and thanks so much for joining us. I would love to tell you about my greatest adventure, something I will never forget. My greatest adventure with a lighthouse. So, this takes place a few years ago in North Truro, as my wife and I and her family decided to go on a tour to one of the oldest lighthouses in New England, Highland Lighthouse in North Truro, across the street from one of my favorite wineries. So, with this, we start our adventure out. Me, my wife, her two brothers, and her dad, all going through this wonderful guided tour to one of the oldest scenic lighthouses in the area. Now, I'm excited. It's a great time, beautiful weather, about 80 degrees, sun shining, beginning of June. Everything is looking like summer, not a whole lot of tourists at the moment, plenty of time to spend some time with the family. So as we go through the tour, we're seeing how the tower was built in the 1800s. It was established to help George Washington. It no longer is inoperable. Um, it's not very tall, it's about 66 feet, but it's beautiful. It's fantastic. So, as we're going through the tour, we're getting to the best part. We're going to climb up the lighthouse to the top, overlook the ocean, get the scenic view, and I'm there with my wife. We're excited, and as we're going up the stairs, I'm starting to realize, yeah, Dom, you're afraid of heights. What are you doing? And we're going up these old, rusty stairs. And as we take every single step, I'm looking at the bolts thinking, this was in the 1800s when they built this. Please say that they updated these bolts and screws and that this is not the original screws. We're taking another step, and my heart is pounding. And as it's pounding, I like the look on my face is just sheer panic. And my wife knows it, and so do her brothers. Her 6 foot tall, muscular, jacked brothers. They're like, "You okay, Dom? Are you all right? We're gonna go up even higher, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So as we're going up, I'm starting to kind of move to the back of the line of this tour, so they go up first, and I can kind of get myself together as we get to the top. So as we make our way to the top platform, it's not a door that you open that you go into. It's more of like a latch that you kind of crawl up and into. So everybody goes first, and then I go, and my heart's fully pounding. It is like boom, 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 boom. And as we get up top, I am hugging the floor. My belly and face are just smushed on that floor, crawling up. Everybody is standing around looking, and my wife, and like I'm terrified. This 80-year-old tour guide is like trying to help me say the kindest words, and my brain has nothing to do with it. I'm just completely zoned out, just on the floor of this top platform. And the tour guide, she's super nice, knows I'm terrified, everybody else having a great time. She's like, "Okay, we're gonna open the door now. Everybody ready?" As she's looking directly at me. And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this, okay?" So she opens the door, and the wind just forces right in, and my breath is completely gone at this point. And then I remember about what happens when I get so nervous. When I get super nervous and scared, I laugh. I laugh like a little schoolgirl. I'm like, yeah, yeah. So already embarrassing enough. I'm lying on the floor, okay, because I'm terrified of heights, and I can now overlook the ocean 66 feet above the ground and feel the rush of the wind coming in. I'm now laughing like a little schoolgirl too, just going and everybody, every single person that is up there with us is now laughing hysterically. And my wife looks over at me and she's trying to help, but she can't stop laughing. The wonderful 80-year-old tour guide, she's like, I've never experienced this. She's like, I've never seen this in my life, which gives me wonderful encouragement to try to stand up now, because now it's been a couple minutes and I'm still laughing, but I'm trying to get to my knees to stand up and hold on to the 1800-year-old wall in the super old lighthouse. So after about 10 minutes, which felt like eternity at the time, I make my way to the railing to overlook the ocean and see the view. And I probably stood there for maybe 30 seconds at best, and I was like, yeah, this was great. Okay, let's wrap this up and go down now. Everybody was fantastic for me after, and they let me go first down the antique rusty staircase all the way to the bottom and make our way out to the parking lot there. Yeah, great time. But honestly, it was a great time. It was a great experience. As we got out to the parking lot, I looked back up at the 66-foot lighthouse and realized it's not that tall from down here. But from up there, I was horrified. And my wife and her brothers and her dad all looked at me and they said, Dom, that was a really good suggestion to go to the lighthouse. Yeah, the whole thing, my idea. Didn't think any of that through. Totally forgot I was afraid of heights until that moment that we went up there. So, moral of the story, make sure you think things through before you decide to go on plans. All right? Think about your biggest fear before you go and do something. Or think about your family and how much they're there for you when you're struggling 66 feet above the ground in an old, deteriorating lighthouse that's inoperable. Yeah, see how much they really love you. No, they love me to death. Thanks so much. Enjoy.